Well, hello there. Welcome to the Miracles Happen Fertility Podcast, episode 110. We are doing a reprise for tools for handling hard shit because last week I had a really rough week with lots of actually physical illness in my family. So, pets. Well, there was a routine thing with my cat. She got fixed, and then my dog Dexter, I've talked about him a lot. His nickname is Monkey. He's going to be 15 this year in August, and we just thought he was aging a lot faster, and it turns out he was diagnosed with Cushing's disease. And then, so by the way, if you are in the veterinary world, I would love some email love from you if you can give me some insights on Cushing's disease for a mini dachshund. What I've read, it's not a death sentence, but it's, he'll be on meds for the rest of his life. But then last week I had to take him to the emergency room, emergency vet, because he had I think they called it an abscess. It was really disgusting. I am not a medical person, clearly. And then I got sick, and then my mom was diagnosed with shingles. So it's been a wild ride the last week or so. And I thought, I wasn't able to record a podcast last week for today. So I need to do that really quick. And then I thought, wait a minute, why don't I just reprise one? Because I really think that it's important for me to model for you self-care and to model for you that things are going to be okay, even if shit's not perfect, right? And I definitely embrace imperfection. Talked about that a lot. And wanting to model that for you now, because things are not perfect right now. And I wasn't able to, things are completely derailed. I had to cancel several podcast interviews that I was intending to publish soon. And so things are out of whack, right? And I'm okay. I'm totally okay. And you guys are going to be okay, even though my podcast plans are derailed, right? So I'm wanting to model for you that this is completely okay. I need to recoup today. I'm having some tea with a friend virtually, and I'm going to have a little bit more of a chill day because last week just ran me right over, and then I had to jump into a work week. So today I don't see any clients. I'm just hanging out with some friends or hanging out with a friend for some tea and maybe doing some oracle card readings for myself and reading for fun and things like this. Now, I do want to say that I'm thinking about you because this coming weekend is Mother's Day. And obviously I'm thinking about you. Actually, I think about you all the time, but not in a creeper kind of way or anything. You're just always on my mind, right? So wanting to offer you a discount for Mother's Day on my website, drmariarothenberger.com/shop. For anything in there, 20% off. The coupon code is MeDay 2021 instead of Mother's Day, Me Day, because in other words, M like mother, E day 2021, because I want you to celebrate yourself that day in whatever capacity that means. Celebrate just being a human and living through what you're living through and riding the waves and doing and practicing excellent self-care like I will be doing today. Totally modeling for you. All right. So Me Day 2021 at drmariarothenberger.com/shop. And you'll be good to go. And that includes big ticket things like spirit baby sessions and past life regression sessions and the little things like meditations and things. All right. So leaving you with that, you are on my mind. Look out for me on Instagram. On Mother's Day, I will likely have a little message for you, a little live message for you. Maybe I'll even go live on Mother's Day. We'll see. All right. So with that, I am going to reprise tools for handling hard shit. I do talk a lot about heart math in this episode, and I've been heart mathing. I have been heart mathing. It's so useful. I just met with a client yesterday who was like, I can't believe how well that works. And I'm like, I know. It's crazy how much it works. And it does. So been heart mathing a lot myself, and just going to reprise this episode for you so that if you are handling hard stuff today and this weekend especially, rein in the heart math and do a lot of self-care. I'll see ya.
Welcome to the Miracles Happen Fertility Podcast, where it's all about using the power of your mind to create hope, health, and miracles on your fertility journey. And now your host, a dash of science and a heap of spirit, Dr. Maria Rothenberger.
Hey, it's Dr. Maria Rothenberger here, your host for the Miracles Happen Fertility Podcast. Welcome to episode 72. Tools for handling hard shit. Because how much hard shit is there in the fertility world, right? So much. And I know that I've talked about plenty of tools before, but this is one that I think I've touched on, but I haven't gone into depth, and that is around heart math. So we're going to be talking about heart math today, taking a little break from the world of the weird, spiritual side, and getting super pragmatic today. Engaging my left brain again. Although I have to say, heart math is one of those things that I find to be, it just really resonates with me because it takes the world of the pragmatic and the world of the weird and combines them a little bit. So we're talking about energy and things like that, but also very practical biological changes that happen as a function of these tools that we're going to be talking about today. But before we get to that, just a brief check-in on what's happening in the Miracles Happen Fertility Center. Back to the world of the weird stuff. Spirit baby work is really a beautiful, beautiful thing in my world right now. And I thank you so much for those who have participated right now. This is going to be published August 13th through the end of August. If you are on my mailing list, and if you aren't, why aren't you not on my mailing list? What? I give away so much free shit over there. You gotta get on my list. Okay, anyway, drmariarothenberger.com. Just sign up for the list, and you'll get a free fertility meditation kit because you know how much of a meditation pusher I am. You get a lot of updates around free giveaways and things that are upcoming in the world of the Miracles Happen Fertility Center. But also, you'll get 25% off right now through the end of August for Spirit Baby readings, which is 90 minutes of you time and you connecting to the baby you're meant to have. Or if you have experienced any losses, pregnancy losses, infant losses, those very difficult experiences, we can connect to the spirit of those babies as well. So I am astounded at how healing and helpful these sessions are. And again, thank you to those who have already participated and been a part of that and given me feedback as well. It's been really glorious and wonderful to read the follow-ups as well. So thank you. Transcending Infertility, my book is still coming out November. Oh, wait a minute. I have a date for you now. Hold on a second. It is November 21st, 2020. Wahoo! So thus starts the countdown. If you haven't signed up for information on that, go to transcendinginfertilitybook.com. Sign up for updates there. I will be having a pre-launch party, a launch day party. And because I love to give away shit, you'll probably get some free stuff out of it. I just love doing that. It's such a good time. So November 21st, 2020 is the official launch date of Transcending Infertility. Go sign up for updates there. And I will be having a companion workshop / e-course that goes along with the book too. The first one that I'm releasing several of them because I wanted to break the book up in chunks. The first one I'm releasing has 3 of the fertility keys, and then I'll have 2 more courses that have 3 more each of those fertility keys talked about in Transcending Infertility. And of course, the workshop / e-course is also going to have bonuses, things that are not in the book. So it's going to be a good time. So look for more information on that. What else is going on? It's a beautiful Oregon, sunny West Coast day in America. And even though it's beautiful outside, there is still this unrest that is happening here in the US and all over the world. I just spoke with somebody today who went to a demonstration in Germany. If you're listening to this, you know who you are. And I love that. There is this unrest that is going to create change. I can feel it. So, and to keep myself accountable, checking in with my reading of Me and White Supremacy. Friggin' A, that's hard work. It is hard work looking at one's own racism that wasn't even considered before. Like there's this one part, it's in week 1, it's called white exceptionalism. And what that means is that when white people or those who are white passing say, well, I'm very liberal and they can't be talking about me. I voted for Obama. I have Black people in my family. I have Black friends. I have people of color in my neighborhood, whatever. That's called white exceptionalism. And to learn more about that, man, I absolutely ask you to pick up Me and White Supremacy. It is so good. You can probably get it at the library for free even. Okay. Now, on to today's topic, which is frankly not that much lighter in feeling, and that's okay because we are talking about handling hard shit today, right? And boy, reading through and owning all of my downfalls in this area of learning has been pretty difficult. So employing heart math has been really, really important for helping engage that big emotional response in a meaningful way. So let's start with what the heck heart math is. It's kind of important, right? So basically, and I actually have this biofeedback capability in my office. If you were able to physically be here, I could do this with you. However, people can order this online. It's not the same like pro level, but you can get this same software online and get your own feedback readings. But basically, what the Heart Math Institute found out is over their 25 years of research is they were able to determine somebody's overall wellness based on their heart rate variability. So they, at the basic level here, when you inhale, your heart rate or your pulse goes up. Your heart rate goes up a little bit. When you exhale, your heart rate goes down. Heart rate variability is the difference between the two over a period of time. So the researchers found that some people exhibited heart rate variability that when it was graphed, it was very jagged and very sharp peaks and very sharp valleys, very high peaks and low valleys. And it was kind of all over the place, not this very, simple pattern. It was jagged and kind of all over the place. On the other hand, people who were more calm, who were experiencing some joy or positive affect, had what they call a sine wave-like pattern, which is very soft, like low rolling hills as opposed to these jagged peaks and valleys. Very slow moving and rolling soft hills. And I'm doing these like hand signs in the middle of the air as if you can see me, but that's not possible. Go to heartmath.org, actually, or heartmath.com. It's on both. And you'll see an image for what I'm talking about. So in addition to that, they found that the heart has its own brain-like cells. I believe they call them neurites. Neurites that are capable of thinking, learning, remembering, and communicating. And so when information comes into the heart, it is communicated, especially to the brain. The heart communicates to the brain in 4 ways, whereas the brain only communicates to the heart in 1 way. So it's very impactful for the brain to help you function well when you are in what they call coherence, which is that very slow rolling hill sine wave-like activity. Now, we're talking today about how to get into that coherent state. What they found is that performance is better, health is better, overall wellness is better. Everything is better when one is able to get into this coherent state. And that is certainly what we need in the fertility world, right? When we're dealing with such difficult things. Now, I have to tell you, I just practiced this on myself when I first got the software. And the difference is like, it's absolutely astounding. So I was thinking about, I hooked myself up, and I think I'm just in general more coherent maybe than other people that first come into my office, because for whatever reason, I've practiced meditation for a long time. Well, for whatever reason. Then I practiced thinking about something, and I thought about my dog peeing on the floor that day, and I was pissed. And then the biofeedback software showed me that very, sharp valleys and peaks and very ragged looking heart rate variability. Then I thought about the day that we adopted my dog, and it went back to this very calm sine wave-like activity. It's really, really cool to witness this. Now, how do you do this? Because those are just thoughts, but there's more to it than that. And any therapist is going to tell you that thoughts matter, right? Your thoughts absolutely affect your biology, and whether or not you experience some anxiety and depression. But I'd like to talk about 2 specific techniques today. And this is in their anxiety book, Transforming Anxiety, it's called, by Doc Childre, Childre, and Deborah Rosman. So you can find that either on the HeartMath website or on, I'm sure it's on Amazon or anywhere. New Harbinger Publications is the publisher. So the first technique that I'd like to talk about is called the heart lock-in technique. Now, if you were hooked up to my little biofeedback machine, we would get a baseline for how your heart rate variability is looking at the moment. And then we would practice this technique. Now, you can do this along with me. And right now, you won't be able to see the biofeedback changes, but you should be able to detect the change in your body and in your spirit. Now, one thing that I found absolutely fascinating in the HeartMath research is this measurement of the electromagnetic field that is emanating out of the heart. Now, stay with me for a second. This is absolutely amazing. What they found is that there is an energy field, an electromagnetic field emanating from the heart that stretches out at least 3 feet in diameter from the body. So you have this electromagnetic field around you emanating from your heart. And the wave-like patterns that are being experienced in your heart as a function of what you're thinking of or what you're feeling emotionally is put out into that electromagnetic field. So what do you think happens? Now, by the way, they believe that this field goes beyond 3 feet, but they've only been able to successfully measure 3 feet around the body. Now, what happens if somebody is in your electromagnetic field? They may not know it, but they're able to pick up on that energy. And their electromagnetic field now resonates with whatever your electromagnetic field is feeling. And now their heart is receiving that input, sending it to their brain. So if you're feeling anxious and that goes in your electromagnetic field, now they're within your electromagnetic field, they feel it, and that communication is sent to their heart, then sent to their brain. It's it's crazy. It's amazing though, right? And this is where, again, I marry my left brain, right brain stuff, because it's very cool stuff. Now, let's get into the pragmatic thing, okay? Very useful. The heart lock-in technique, this is called, okay? So, and it starts with the quick coherent technique. So that's why I started saying that. But this is called the heart lock-in technique. Now, it starts with slowing down your breathing. And on the software, they give a count of 5 for each inhale and exhale. So you're inhaling for the count of 5, exhaling for the count of 5. Inhaling for the count of 5. Actually, let me do that right now because that was a little too fast. So it goes like this. You just do that a few times until you feel a little bit calmer. And then I like to put my hands on my heart because what you want to do is get into your heart space. You want your awareness to be in your heart space. In the same way that I would say, hold your right finger up in the air and you're now aware of your right finger, right? Or where is your left big toe right now? Now you're aware of your left big toe. That's the same way that I want you to get into your heart space. And I personally put my hands on my heart space because it gets me physically there. It gets my awareness physically there. So then you continue this breathing pattern of inhaling and exhaling to the count of 5 for a few more moments. And next, you're going to generate a positive emotion. Now, how do you do that? I personally like to think of something that makes me feel positive affect. So the day that we adopted my puppy was a good one. It can be anything that is positive, and it could be a highly charged positive emotion like excitement, or it can be a more low charge positive affect like peacefulness. It doesn't matter. Still coherent. Still gets you into coherence. Then you breathe that positive affect, that positive emotion for a few moments. And that last part of the heart lock-in technique is to send that positive feeling out. Send it out to yourself. Send it out to loved ones. Send it out to people you don't even know. Send it out to people you don't like. You send it out to everyone. This technique takes a few minutes, and it's really powerful. It's a very, very powerful technique to just offer a little reset, a little bit of reset. And if you, again, were hooked up to my biofeedback machine here, you would see the difference immediately. It is so cool. I actually, fun story. I still sometimes see some kids in my office, and we practice this together, and we call it the green, blue, and red zone, because that's how the biofeedback shows. If you're in the red zone, you're non-coherent. If you're in the green zone, you're coherent. And if you're in the blue zone, you're neutral. So we hook them up, and you get to play fun games too. So kids love it. And they get into green zone really fairly easily. It's kind of fun. And then I ask their parents to give them a video game, like on their phone, to play with. And we still measure their coherence, and they go right into red zone. Maybe there's an initial green zone spike, but they go right into red zone. And so they get to see that they're incoherent when they're playing their video games. And that's why they have to have a limit. Yay! We want to see coherence. It helps. It helps so much with worries and upset and hard shit, right? All right, so that's the first tool. The first tool that you can use to handle hard shit. Use that whenever you're having a hard moment. It takes a few minutes, fairly easy to do, and you can find that on YouTube. I'm pretty sure you can find that on YouTube. You can find the quick coherence technique. You can probably find the heart lock-in technique as well, just on YouTube. You can see it. You can see it done. Okay. Now, this technique, the next one that I'll leave you with today, is called the cut-through technique. Now, this is from the anxiety book that I was telling you about from heartmath.com. And, I'm just realizing this isn't from heartmath.com. It's its own thing. But it is a HeartMath-based book. So this is called the cut-through technique. Now, this one's a little bit longer, but it is really useful. I love how they talk about this. So they talk about these various therapies and techniques that help manage symptoms, help people cope with symptoms of anxiety or depression or trauma, but it doesn't get to the source of what's going on. And so those symptoms readily come back. Now, I know that over time, you teach your body how to respond in a calmer way, and then those symptoms don't come back as much. But if you're able to dive right in with a cut-through technique, and that's why it's called the cut-through technique, because you cut through all of the long waiting. Well, you cut through the bullshit, really. You just cut through straight to the heart of the matter. How appropriate for HeartMath, right? And you look at the actual source of the issue. What is causing this symptom? What is causing this anxiety right now? So that's why I really love this technique and wanted to talk to you about it. So the first thing that you want to do, there are 6 steps to this cut-through technique. The first thing that you want to do is just describe what's happening. What is going on? Now, you can talk about the specific circumstance, like what is actually happening in your world. But the most important thing is to identify, name, write down the emotions that you're having. Are you feeling angry, anxious, overwhelmed, guilty, sad? Whatever they are, write those things down. Sometimes people feel quite numb, like no feeling at all. You can write that down too. So that's step 1. So being really aware of what is happening inside you. The second step that you do in this cut-through technique is to center yourself through breath work. And what that does is it helps ground you so that you're not so up in the clouds about what's happening. You're not spinning. You're actually just settling and grounding yourself so that you can move forward with the next steps here. And how you do that through breath work, as they suggest here in the cut through technique, is to do the slowing down of the breath work like we talked about before. Only this time you're going to envision that you can breathe in through your heart space and exhale, breathe out through your solar plexus. And that's like where your stomach is. It's below your heart space, but not quite all the way down to like your intestines. It's like in the middle there. So you're going to inhale, pretend that you can inhale through your heart and exhale through your solar plexus. And you will do that for a few breaths. And that just helps ground you. The next thing that you want to do, step 3, is probably one of my favorite because it offers a sense of understanding and compassion toward yourself. You're going to, what they say is assume objectivity about the feeling or the issue. And I like to ask myself, what if my friend were experiencing this right now? What if she or he were experiencing this right now? What would my reaction be? And just write that down. Just notice it. What would my reaction be? And certainly you can think about it as how would my reaction be for my friend compared to my reaction for myself. It's not really the point of this part of the cut through technique. The part that's important is that you foster a sense of objectivity. So you're looking at this from a bird's eye point of view so that your emotions don't take over. You're just looking at what's going on as if a friend were experiencing it. And you can add a little compassion in there. The 4th step in the cut through technique, they say rest in neutral, in your rational, mature heart. What does that mean? So what this means is that once you've become objective, like an objective observer of what's happening with your emotions, then you're able to relax in that and just experience it. Just watch it as if you're watching a movie. So I'm watching this anxiety pass. I'm watching the resistance to this exercise move through me. I'm watching frustration. I'm watching bewilderment go through me. Whatever it is, you're just watching it. In meditation, we like to give a visual for that, like flowers floating down a stream or leaves on a stream floating down downstream. And you just, that's what the feelings are like, or the thoughts are like. You're just watching them go, like you're on the side, on the bank, watching them float by. So you rest there for a few minutes. They say rest in neutral. And hopefully when you're objective, when you practice being objective, an objective observer of your emotions, you'll start to get that sense of neutrality. Okay, step 5. This is a little bit difficult, admittedly. You're going to go back to those intense emotions and intentionally, they say, soak and relax any disturbed or perplexing feelings in the compassion of the heart. So now you're going to basically pick up one of those leaves floating down the river, and you're going to hold it to your heart, and you're going to offer it some compassion. Now, why I say this is difficult is that you're intentionally not running away from hard shit, hard feelings. You're actually holding it close to you. You're actually holding that anxiety up close to you, not trying to run away from it. And you're holding it with compassion. Now, how do you do that? As if it were a friend. Would you tell your friend what an idiot they are? How could they feel that way? That's stupid. They shouldn't feel that way. How dumb. What are you even thinking? Like, come on, just get over it. No. At least I hope you wouldn't do that. Especially if you are an avid listener of this podcast. I hope you don't do that. I hope instead you would offer a sense of compassion and a hug and this sucks. I have no idea what to say right now, but I'm just so glad you told me. That's straight from Brene Brown. And you relax through that. So you're noticing that, or you might notice that you tense up when you hold that hard emotion close to your heart. Notice that and intentionally relax around it, knowing and reminding yourself that you are safe. You're safe right now. You're in a safe spot. You are solid. You're practicing your breathing, your breath work that's keeping you grounded. And you're not going to be harmed while holding this anxiety or worry or depression or whatever close to your heart. You're just offering it some love and some compassion. Step 6, this is the part that moves you forward through the healing process. And it's really important. So the book says, after dissolving as much significance as you can, and that means you hold this hard emotion up to your heart until it dissolves. And it might not dissolve completely, because when you offer compassion and love and kindness to a hard thing, it begins to melt. You'll notice that happening. So the 6th step is, after you've dissolved it as much as you can, from your deep heart, sincerely ask for appropriate guidance or insight. Now, this is the part that I call accessing intuition. When you get really quiet and still, you will get inklings or soft messages from your higher self or your greater self that gives you guidance and direction, tells you what to do next. And when you come from a place of deep love and compassion, especially for yourself, you will be able to hear those things much easier. They'll just come to you. And I've mentioned this before, but it's worth saying again. It's not thinking. Thinking is slow compared to intuition, and it feels really clunky. Like, oh my God, I'm like trying to run through mud. It's like one of those dreams where you're running, and you're not getting anywhere. Intuition it's a snap. It's an instant knowing. And sometimes it's soft though, like a very soft. It's like a little whisper of a knowing. Actually, a lot of times it's like that. But you'll know it and you'll feel it spread through you. It is amazing when that happens. So when you ask from this calm, very sacred, compassionate, loving, gentle, kind space, you ask, what do I need to do with this? What do I need to do with this situation? What is my next move? Whatever question you want to ask, you will be able to access an instant knowing of what to do next. That is what I love about heart math, because it's this very pragmatic, very, very skill-based practice, and you do need to practice it. So don't just do it once and expect it to be like, it's perfect, it's amazing, I have all the answers of the universe, I know how everything works. No, that's not how it's going to be. It takes practice, but it's very practical, and it touches on this energetic realm that we are only now, fortunately, beginning to bring out into the world, that there's this other piece that we're missing. It's not all science all the time. There are these other beautiful things that we can tap into. So I hope that those techniques were helpful for you. I would love to know how they turn out for you. You are welcome to email me at info@drmariarothenberger.com anytime, or you can make comments on this blog post on the page on my website, drmariarothenberger.com/episode 72, where the show notes are. Make comments there. And as always, if you like the content here, please take a moment, if you will, to rate this podcast on whatever platform you are listening to it from. It really helps get this content to other people who might find it useful as well. And share as much as you can. I really appreciate it. And one more time, if you have not signed up for my newsletter for whatever reason, go do that now. Also at drmariarothenberger.com. You can kill two birds with one stone here. Oh, wait, let's not talk about killing birds. There's my sensitive soul coming through. Get on the newsletter there. There's a pop-up, or you can click on get your free fertility meditation kit here, and you'll get a free fertility meditation kit, including 2 meditations. Those also help you get into heart coherence, and you will get notices when I'm giving away free stuff, and through August 2020, 25% off Spirit Baby sessions. Thank you so much for tuning in today. And until next time, may you be happy, joyful, coherent, and be able to move through hard shit easier, at least with these tools under your belt. Until next time, my friends, be well.